Good morning. I was planning to record this meditation this week anyway, so now is a good time. I'm reading from the book Zen and the Age of Anxiety by Tim Burkett. So get comfortable, just listen and feel what it feels like and ride. The section is called Surfing the Great Ocean of Life. The writer, Tim Burkett, is speaking. When I was a teenager in North California, my friend Jerry and I would go to Santa Cruz after school to surf. Surfing was pretty big in Southern California, where the water was warm, but had not yet become popular in Santa Cruz. Jerry and I were usually the only ones there, surfing the cold water with no wetsuits. Jerry had a surfboard and I body surfed. When the really big waves came, they often knocked me over and took me under. The ocean is a good metaphor for our interconnected life. With a regular meditation practice, we can learn to surf life's waves, but chances are good that we will sometimes be overpowered by them for a while. A technique like following your breath is a great surfboard for riding these waves. But when the surf is up and you're being submerged in wave after wave of fear, anger, and anxiety, you may need a more specialized surfboard, possibly adding counting your breath, repeating a mantra or phrase that is meaningful to you, or doing walking meditation rather than just simply sitting still. Sometimes Jerry and I felt as if we were wasting our time trying to surf. We were just getting knocked over by one wave after another. Days and sometimes even weeks went by when we weren't making any progress at all. Very discouraging. Life can be like that, but with a regular meditation practice, you learn to experience each wave not as an obstacle to your real life, but as your real life. Eventually, you may learn to enjoy the surf directly, with no board at all, experiencing the joy of being fully immersed in the water, regardless of its turbulent energies. Each wave has its own unique nature. It also has the nature of the entire ocean, because a wave is not separate from the ocean. You learn to be patient when you're riding the energy of the entire ocean. Jerry and I surfed on calm days and on stormy days. Surfing on stormy days isn't easy, but the storm is never separate from the calmness down below. Even so, for every thrilling swell that lifts you upward toward the sky, there is a trough that can send you reeling into the darkest depths. Troughs are part of the ocean too. When you're in a deep trough, you can't go forward and you can't retreat. Nor can you predict what will come next, because you can't see beyond the trough. In the troughs, you learn to trust, to have courage, and to be patient, qualities that come naturally if you're committed to surfing the entire ocean. Another quality that comes naturally as you learn to surf is renunciation. Jerry and I had to practice renunciation every day. Because we wanted to surf in the afternoons, we renounced driving our souped-up cars up and down the street in front of Palo Alto High School, after school where everyone could see us. Jerry renounced smoking so he could keep his lungs in good shape to handle the strong currents and mammoth waves. We even had to renounce hanging out with girls in the afternoons. It wasn't easy to give up these things that we liked, but we had fallen in love with surfing, so we did it. Renunciation is a matter of putting aside our immediate desires just a little bit, so we can stay focused on something bigger. As Jerry and I waited in the water, watching the horizon for a wave big enough to carry us all the way to the shore, we were often tempted to take whatever came along. Resisting that temptation was another form of renunciation. Training in renunciation involves seeing our immediate desires as they arise without indulging in them. If you indulge in a desire, what happens next? Another desire arises, and another, and another. The faster you indulge your desires, the faster they come. You never learn to surf if you are distracted by the small waves that constantly lap at your surfboard. After a while, the small, steady waves of desire no longer distract you. Eventually, even the surfboard begins to dissolve because you no longer need it. Suddenly, you realize that you are right there in the surf with no gap, no separation between you and the waves, completely immersed in the ocean. Wave by wave is how we stay engaged with life. It is the only way to experience the immediacy and vigor that real life offers. Sure, it's raw, but we don't need to protect ourselves from the moods and nuances of life's great ocean. We can stay right with it in placid times and in turbulent times. Life is always offering us the energy and vitality we need. Just let that salt water seep into your pores. I'm going to close with a poem written by 13th century Zen master Dojin, slightly modified. To understand this poem, it's important to know that the moon is a metaphor for wisdom, and that birds are a metaphor for thought. Dojin writes about being entranced by thoughts of judgment and ridicule. This is worthy, that is not. Then a great insight arises. Here's the poem. All my life, true and false, right and wrong are entangled. Playing with the moon, ridiculing the wind, listening to the birds, many years wasted. Seeing the ocean white with surf. This year, I suddenly realized surf makes the ocean. Can you learn to surf the chaos and uncertainty that real life includes? Great question, right? You can. A surfer is powerless to change the towering wave rushing toward her, but she doesn't want to change it. She wants to surf it, and she learns to feel safe in the immense ocean of being, even when she falls. She confidently gets right back up to meet the next wave. I was reading from Zen in the Age of Anxiety by Tim Burkett. That's today's meditation. If you wish to look this up, please do. If you wish to watch this again, because I've made a recording, you have that choice. So enjoy your meditation, take some breaths, fall into that space of imagining surfing the waves of life. Have a fabulous day.